I went to the dentist today. Bummer. What did the dentist say? I have 3 cavities. I also need a root canal. Big bummer. When will you have your root canal done? Never. Even with my dental insurance, the root canal will cost me $1,000. I do not have $1,000. And I will not finance it. No way. No debt for me. Yes, I understand. You are one of the new poor in the United States. Yup. I used to be middle class. But since I refuse to use debt or credit to pay for things, and since the price of everything is going up, I'm now poor. So what will you do about the tooth? I will have it pulled. I will live with one less tooth in my mouth. Bummer. I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but without a tooth you will look like a poor person. Well, I'm a poor person. I used to be a middle-class person, but most middle-class people are much poorer than they used to be. Look on the bright side. The Ben Bernanke says that we are experiencing an economic recovery. He says the job outlook will eventually get better, but I already have a good job. I make $40,000 per year. But since I refuse to use credit or debt in order to pay for things, I cannot afford to live like a middle-class person. The middle class financed a lifestyle that is quickly coming to an end. What do you mean? I cannot own a home. I will not pay the usurers for a mortgage. I cannot own a car. I refuse to finance a car, and even used cars cost many thousands of dollars. But most people, I mean even poor people, own cars. That is because they borrow money to pay for their cars. Then they have to pay back those loans with thousands of extra dollars of interest. The banks and finance companies make a killing by making us all think we need fancy cars and fancy houses in order to be happy. Shiny pearly whites too, but you will eventually have no teeth, dude, so it goes. Bummer. Yup. Do you think it will get better? Nope. Not for the poor people. What about for the rich people? Yes. Life for the rich people will be fine. They will always have the money to pay for root canals. But the poor people will just keep getting poorer. But the Ben Bernanke says the job outlook will improve. The job outlook will never improve for the middle class and for the poor. Why not? Because every month more people compete for less jobs. But economic recovery means more jobs, not less jobs. No. Economic recovery is a code word used by the Ben Bernanke. It really means gambling in the stock market and gambling in other markets. Economic recovery makes the rich richer, but jobs for the middle class and for the poor become more and more scarce. Are you sure? Of course. Let me ask you a question. Okay, where are the new jobs going to be? What? In what industries are we going to see job growth? How about retail? Yes, there will always be jobs that pay you $10 per hour. $400 per week before taxes. That is about $20,000 per year before taxes. And I'm assuming that you will work every day of the year, so that is not so bad. Well, let's see. After taxes, your take-home pay will be about $12,000 per year. By my calculations, that's $1,000 per month. I will have gobs of cash. How much is your rent? $900 per month. Cool. That leaves $100 per month for food, gas, electricity. I guess you will have to finance the rest of your expenses. No money for root canals. Nope. What about better jobs? In what sector? Housing? Yes. We always need to build new houses. Sorry. That industry was tapped for every credit dollar possible. Trillions upon trillions of dollars in fraudulent gains. All of the real estate agents and contractors and lamp makers and floor sanders, they are all in big trouble. And every June, millions of new college and high school graduates try to find jobs. Yup, but the jobs are going away. They either go to other countries, or they simply evaporate as access to credit evaporates. What about becoming a dentist? Dentist for the rich and famous might work. Medicaid is cutting off dental funding for the poor. Oh yes. I forgot. The root canal issue. Yup. Bummer. Yup. So, I have a question. I'm ready. How are all of these people who used to be middle class, but now are poor, going to adjust to their falling standard of living? Well, at least for a while longer, the government will continue to pay for lots of stuff, right? The Obama tax deal, huh? Exactly. But eventually more and more cuts to more and more budgets will mean more and more people will become poor. That is what people like Bernie Sanders mean when they talk about a shrinking middle class. Got it. The middle class is shrinking because earning a middle class salary no longer buys you a middle class lifestyle. You need to go into massive debt to pay for a middle class lifestyle, but fewer and fewer people can, or will, do that. I see your point, but the government is stuck. What do you mean? The government cannot pay for the middle class to keep its standard of living for much longer. The availability of credit and debt is shrinking too. The middle class bought its standard of living with credit cards, and the government supported this charade for decades. But now all of the credit cards are maxed out. Even the government's credit cards are past due. The $100 trillion debt monster is going to destroy the middle class. 41 million people on food stamps is nothing. In 10 years, 100 million people will need food aid. Good luck with that one. I see. No more credit means no more middle-class homes, and no more middle-class vacations, and no more middle-class lifestyles. Bingo. Wow. Bummer. Yup. Sorry to hear about your teeth. Thanks. I'm heading to the hardware store for some pliers. Nasty. Oh well. It will only cost me $10 instead of $1,000.